Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
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 Emails.
Too early. The wind is too strong.
What'd you say?
The wind is. Can you hear the wind or not? My background is a lot of wind.
No, just a little bit. It's okay. It's not interfering at all.
If it's too much, I can move.
Seems fine to me.
No, it's a strong wind. Sometimes it's really nice, but it's sometimes it makes me scared.
It's a beautiful day here today.
It is nice. Yeah.
Windy though.
Oh,
Here.
you Squamish? It's not windy here.
Yeah, it is windy.
Squamish is always,
Always
windy.
windy.
Oh, okay.
Always.
Because too high the mountains.
No.
It's right where the sea ends and the mountains, the wind comes up the ocean and hits the mountains.
I mean, it's all surrounded by mountains, but we are at sea level.
Mountains everywhere though.
Right. So very hard to get the sun there, right? Sun.
Because it's a very narrow valley. Yeah, we only have a few hours.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's summertime. But summer you are not there.
Summer we're not here.
We live in winter.
So you two is like the, how to say, the kind of a
Yes.
wrong directions, wrong way to come. Like summer must be there, winter go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So no, summer going to stay or this year or going back to Chile.
We don't
We
know
don't know yet.
with the
With
coronavirus.
this, what's happening, it's everything is uncertain, you know.
Right.
It always is, really, but more now. Yeah. Yeah, we don't know. So, but so maybe we will have a summer, which wouldn't be bad at all.
Kempo, be careful about getting a lot of pollen out on the porch. We're covered in pollen here in Norfolk, Virginia. And you can really just see it in the air. Is everybody else having a lot of pollen in the spring?
Not so bad here. There's some, yes.
Pollen means?
The
It's
pollen
what-
from all the plants, flowers blooming.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's like a dust everywhere, yellow dust.
We
I'm even
don't
getting
have.
it, I'm getting it on top of my head.
Mm.
Yeah, Keith, I have to put a hat on.
Annie,
Hello, Kimberly.
long time no see you.
How are you?
Good.
I haven't got the book yet. It's still at Lona's place.
Which book?
At the book you
This
are
one?
teaching for today, the book you wrote.
Oh, the Tara book.
No,
No,
not
learning
the Torah
book.
book. The Buddhism learning something.
Oh, the
something.
learning Buddhism. I see.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. Lona brought one book from Meridian place,
Ah,
but we didn't meet each other since then.
I see. So you can download from the app this ebook.
Oh, okay. From
Oh.
which website?
Ebook. iBook.
Ebook. Hi.
iBook and Amazon both have it. iBook and Amazon both have it.
Oh, Meridian, how are you?
So today topic is like Saturday, Sunday teaching. So same thing, no difference. What are we going to do?
Laughing.
Saturday, Sunday we talk about a lot. So this two truths. So today also that is a two truth there.
No, it's the three vehicles.
Review.
No, it's the two truths because our group hasn't done the two truths yet. We
Oh,
just
okay.
did love and bodhicitta.
Okay.
Where is the other one? Three makers.
Right.
Or the
No,
next one?
it's the two truths. Yes, you're right,
Yeah, yeah.
Marilyn.
I wanted to share today. is
Once in a
the
while.
Three makers. Today I want to share three makers.
Yeah, page
What?
67.
Yeah, page 67. Three makers is I'm going to share three makers.
What, you're not doing two truths?
He's tired of
Two
truth.
Yeah. Two truth is I share like when is it like couple of days ago in the
But that was the Dayton people, and it was like we all didn't get it here.
oh really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
So then everyone wanted two truth.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Good
Then I have to
choice.
go back to two truth.
Okay.
Oh, your choice. I think Wayne is strong or no. Can you are okay, right? To hear or this Wayne is like affect my sound or no?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you well.
Yeah, you can hear, but it's Wayne is like it comes together or no?
No wind.
Okay, that's good today. Yeah, it's a lot windy here. It's like nice, but sometimes windy. Change all the time. Yeah. Okay, so then I think we already
Okay, mute.
moved everyone. Three vectors, two truths. So so last week I shared the teaching, love, meditation, compassion, Boddchitta. So the three different levels. Mostly last week I shared love, meditation, compassion. So not much Boddchitta there last week. So now I'm going to talk a little bit Boddchitta, then go to the true truth. So that's become together, true truth, Boddchitta comes together, combined together. Boddchitta is the you all know the so most important section, especially when we practice Yidam Deity. So without the Bodhicitta, the not allowed to do practice Yidam Deity. So that is big, right? And so that's the reason the 5-part Mahamudra beginning is like called preliminary practice is Bodhicitta. So you're going to practice Bodhicitta, then you also have to practice compassion and love. The reason is love, compassion is the cause for Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the result. But when you practice Mahamudra, so Bodhicitta is preliminary practice. And also practice Yidam Deity, we have to practice, cultivate first Bodhicitta. That's the reason Bodhicitta is a very important section. So Bodhicitta has 2 different Bodhicittas. The called aspiration Bodhicitta, engaging Bodhicitta. Then sometimes we also say like relative truth Bodhicitta, absolute truth Bodhicitta. So first we're going to step relative truth Bodhicitta has 2 different levels there. Aspiring Bodhicitta, engaging Bodhicitta. So we have to know that. And aspiring Bodhicitta is we wanting to do something. The good intention is aspiring Bodhicitta. So just before we're going to put action, must have to have something good intention. So the good intention is not thinking about the benefit ourselves, thinking about more for others. So that's called the Bodhicitta. The reason is Bodhicitta is changed our, thoughts. Usually our thoughts, like kind of whatever comes our mind, always thinking about our own benefit. We always put ourselves as the first. So actually, when you practice the Dharma, you put ourselves first, then goes like same for like then goes equal, then go to for other. So we have to follow that way step by step. Harder to think first, like always like, oh, I'm going to do something others, everything. So if we think that way, but when your action comes, it doesn't have like that. So that's the reason. First, always a step and the easy one. So think about our benefit, something spiritual, our benefit. Then that wanted to share for others, what we benefit is spiritual practice, what we can benefit ourselves. So then we wanted to share for others. Then you have that step, then you go more deeper. It's like, then you, whatever you do is like thinking about for others. So that's the reason. First, of course, we cannot right away think about everything like for others. First, like we think ourselves, oh, this is our need, this practice I need because due to our emotion, my problems. So, think about my is there is a good way. And then you do something spiritual, then you see your benefits, then think, oh, I want to share for others this. Then comes it slowly more strong. It's like, oh, I want to benefit others. So if we don't get benefit ourselves, then say, okay, I want to benefit for others this, because that is become words, only the words. You don't know the benefits. We don't have any experience our own benefits. Say, I'm going to benefit for others, right? Then that is not really kind of like, like just kind of words, not really then can't do any actions for that. So that's the reason. And we chant this prayers like beginning the Jikin Songun, Tibetic called Dala, Danwa, Receive, Da means It's like Dala means like my, my first beginning is my. Dala means Dala, my. The enemy who harm me. So you put yourself first, then it's really can fear that other object strongly. So that's you will recognize usually somebody like harms some other people. So there's no harm for us. We don't have that experience. We don't see that person as our enemies. We don't have like angry with that person because we individually don't have experience. So that person harm for others. Oh yeah, he harm for others. Right? We don't have our own experience. We don't get really feeling. And so that person harm for us, then we get really strong feeling. Then you think, okay, I wanted to benefit that person, my enemy. So you can really easy to take that person, your enemy, and I wanted to something benefit to that person. So that's the reason. Always like put eyes first, then you have to recognize what's going on situation. Yeah, so make sense or no? It's sometimes we talk about bodhicitta. It's a Tongli meditation. It's a very beautiful words, but you put effort to practice, engage, not that easy. And supplication to Tara, the beginning, this first sentence, the second sentence, then the third sentence comes, fourth one, the sentence, like the first, the fourth sentence is what they call first verses. And then please, like, it's like, please release my fears, something, Supplication to Tara, help me release my fears. You can strongly fear that. Please fear others means like just, okay, somewhere there, not really much fear that. The supplication to Tara, please help me release my fear. So strong you can feel yourself if you have something like problems. Then also you love to yourself recognize, oh, I have so many going on, problems, many obstacles. And then you go more deeper, oh, I have so much emotion, right? So much going on myself. Please, Tara, help me. And like that kind, you go into love yourself deeper. It's more strong, connect with Dharma. Then you feel that, then also like same, okay, no, I have this problem. Same exactly. Other also has the same problem. So please help me and release others' fear too. So then that prayer is like comes, you can fear yourself, then you can do for dedication for others. Easy. So otherwise, like we just say, okay, this prayer is release others' fears. It's all just words to go into the sky, dissolve to somewhere, not really into your heart. So that's our fear, Sometimes we do Tongli meditation in here, taking suffering, other beings, release, like, giving something like for positive feeling for, or like sending love for others. So beautiful words. You do like that. Sometimes I lost the like object. I don't know you have that or not. I told people the Tongli is very hard. Many people say I like Tongli meditation. I love Tongli meditation. I don't know. I like, but I cannot really do that easily. Very hard. I can do like couple breathe. Sometimes if I see someone really suffering, and so just if that person is see in my front, person or animals or something like going on suffering, I see that then I can have object there right away. So in here, just like, visualize it, like thinking they're taking like their suffering. So exhale, like giving our energy, like for to recover the illness, something like standing or loving dedication for them. Short terms, I can't do that way, but object is not there, and then if stay longer, it's lost. Do you have felt like that or no? I don't know, but maybe not, because when I talk about the Tonglen, then everybody say, I love Tonglen meditation. That means you can do better than me. So I just can do very short time. It's not too long. Then also, especially, I need something object there. So in this time, the coronavirus. So this sometimes the news like give me some mindful, and sometimes I watch news like they see, okay, so much suffering. Then just breathe in, breathe in here, just exhale, think like something short minutes, short term, then go away again. So without news, like whatever people say, that people are suffering, going on problems, I really cannot fear and like do this practice much. So we can see the some like news there where the people have suffering difficulties. We see that, and then you can do short-term Tonglen meditation. Just that news like give you more mindful reminder again. Otherwise, forget. We always forget. No mindful. Yeah. So that's the reason, and so we practice before or talk about the Bodhicitta. Actually, we have so strong ourself. Self is so strong. So that's the reason always put like my something is like then you really can feel something strong. Also visualize Yadam Deity. So we sometimes like think about, oh, I have this problem. So then visualize right away in any Yadam Deity, like please help me something, easy to come there. To comes like easy to connect with the Yadam Deity. And then of course the go to like I have this problem, same is for others. And recognize that. And then you go more deeper, so recognize that these all problems due to our self-grasping. So then you really feel, okay, all the problems, root cause is self-grasping. Recognize that, then wanted to practice Bodhicitta. The Bodhicitta is directly introduced to self-grasping. So the result is like, we're always thinking about my benefit is self, and the Bodhicitta is thinking about for other beings. So that is a contradiction each other, right? So that's the reason. Self is all the root of causes of a problem. Bodhicitta is all the causes of happiness, because thinking about for others. But that is not easy to come. That's the reason we have to just practice saying like something we can do, we can share easily, do something. So then starting from that, then go up to the higher level. So this Bodhicitta, just you have to know two sections, aspiration, and we wanting to do something. So this is a aspiration is like, I wanted to receive this teaching. You think that when you have that mind, so that is aspiration. Engaging is you are engaging because we already into that. When you listening Dharma teaching, it's called engage practice, engaging. They engage must have to have 6 perfections together. So the many teachers, the shared the when listening teaching has 6 perfections. That is actually, it's there, you know, 6 perfections, because of our time, spending time is generosity. And if you have to go to long way, somewhere to receive, because your time and your put and effort to, you know, on the way you have to spend like gas or something, you know, that's also part of generosity. And used to people go to the temple during the post stations, bodies, generosity. People bring the offerings, flowers to in the temple. So that's also part of generosity, you know, before the receive teaching. And then when you engage in the teaching, so we stop all the coming for others, follow our mind, body, speech is always spiritual. So this is called morality, main point morality, the essence of morality, you know. Then patience. Patience is like when we listen to teaching, of course, we need a lot of patience. And used to like in Tibet, like long time ago, you know, when you receive the teacher, who going to receive Dharma teachings, they're on the journey that they have to through so much difficult ways to get Dharma teachings. There's so much needed patience. Otherwise, not possible to get Dharma teaching. Used to. So when I was Tibet, like that is not too long ago. See, it's 1991, actually 1991. You know, I already monk in the Gar Monastery 3 years before 3 years. So then Gar Monastery, usually we always do lots of ritual things and teachings, rituals, and we go to the puja for other families and so much ritual things, you know, like actually also of course Yadam is practicing all the time, but no teachings. And then one year summer is Gajaran was going to see the Kempo Mesa. It's very far away, and I think 1990, and then we went to there see the Kempo Mesa on the take like more than 2 weeks, I think, something like very long way, and very hard to get there. So we have a three tucked, and do you understand tucked? Like I cannot sometimes make pronunciation. Tucked. Trucked.
You mean
Truck.
truck?
Vehicle?
Yeah,
Like a
truck.
Truck.
Truck,
Truck.
like a pickup truck or something, right?
Yeah, tucked. You know this. Not the car. The bigger
Yeah.
the car, and only
Truck.
tucked. Yeah, 2 people can stay inside there. You know, like and the who does
Everybody
the
else
tuck.
in the back.
Yeah, like the Cinderella movie, the chart that princess
Mm.
can sit in.
Yeah,
Is
so
that
this delivery things, you know, tucked.
Yeah, like a van, or, but
Yeah, this
a truck,
is
yeah.
we get like 2, 3 something like that, and the rent, and then stay outside. You know, when there's sometimes the tight has a problem on the road.
I
You know, have
bet.
to fix, and sometimes they cannot go, have to push. So everyone staying in the outside of the tight. So that time we have many monks. Like 3 means like 3 tight is lots of monks. Like I think 20, more than 20 something. I think more than 23 means 3 tight. So then we went there just 1 month, and starting that time, then I only received teaching like after 3 years, like kind of sharing Dharma teaching like this way, you know, talk. Before that, in monastery, just you are monk, become then you have to join the puja. You know, when you are monk, then you have to require to read, or you have to read. You know how to read. Long as you know how to read, then you can join the puja. Just puja. Just like follow the rules, monastery, and ritual things. So then starting receive teaching, we stayed there 1 month, and went back to the monastery. And then that time in the monastery, one Khenpo from another place. So he shared one teaching. He shared the teaching is a letter to Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna, saying the letter to his friend. Maybe you know that teaching, letter to his friend, right? Nagarjuna wrote the one letter to his friend, the king, another king. So he teach that one. Then that changed my mind. I wanted to study. So then that time is only we know the just good place to go to study is the Khenpo Jimipin. So we just heard his names and like we read his biographies, and then we heard he has so many students teaching there, so sharing who wanted to learn the Dharma philosophy have to go there. So then I went to there. It takes 1 month on the way to get there. 1 month. Okay, so now it's from here to go to Tibet is like 24 hours. So that's like always like next time I can share you more details. So anyway, that's it. That's always like used to like this patient. Marpa Lotsa went to India, so he sacrificed his whole life, like on the journey from Tibet to go to India, like takes 3 years. When he goes one time, takes 3 years. Go there and get teaching and the translation to back to Tibet. It's 3 years to take the time like that. Okay, so that is all used to like mostly Dharma practitioners put effort for the patient. So now, of course, we have a patience. So we always come together and the listening, put effort. That's always a patience. Patient and joyful effort is very similar. Joyful effort also like happy to listening and happy to receive teaching, happy to study. You like to do that, and you have the courage to do that. That is like joyful effort and patient goes together. And then concentration. You have to when you listening Dharma, your mind, have to focus. And when you receive teaching, you understanding the words, which is adopt, which is discard. So that is called wisdom. That's the reason the Boddchitta practices. When you listening Dharma teaching, always there's a Boddchitta practice, engage in Boddchitta, 6 perfections. So you have to know that. And then that is the relative truth of Boddchitta. So no absolute truth of Boddchitta. They also have another absolute truth of Boddchitta. Absolute truth of Boddchitta is like we follow by 2 truth here, 2 truth. So now we go to the pages 64. 64 is the 2 truths. This will be a very brief explanation of the 2 truths, relative truth and atomic truth. Relative truth is our experience of all relative phenomena, which we typically consider to be truly existing and substantial without investigating their true nature. So the true truth is relative truth and absolute truth. Sometimes we say ultimate truth. So I can say easily like absolute truth. So I used to wear that, easy to, I can put pronunciation correctly. Ultimate truth is a little bit hard to say. And, okay, so anyway, you understand, so that's great. So here, the actually what in here says this section is very short. The true truth is like teaching is long, very long, and more details. Actually, all the Buddha's teaching when they're going to teach, use these 2 words, 2 categories. which part, like part of the relative or part of absolute truth. Have to follow this either one. Usually we talk about the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths also subsumed into this two truth. Four Noble Truths, like the suffering of truth of suffering, truth of origination of suffering. So this two is a relative truth and also truth. What is truth or path? So that's three is subsumed into the relative truth. Then truth of cessation is the absolute truth. And then you go to the sixth parameter, generosity, morality, patience. This three is a relative truth. So joyful effort is both. Meditation, wisdom is absolute truth. Then all the Buddha's teaching is subsumed into the two six perfections. Six perfections subsumed into the two truth. So that's the reason when we share the Dharma and have to follow by these two truth. So then also the fourth Buddhism has 4 different levels, 4 schools. They also by two truth. This all schools follow by the two truth. But they recognize two truth is not same, always different. That's the reason the different levels. So now you have to know what means relative truth. The relative truth is our experience of all relative phenomena, which we typically consider to be true existing and substantial without investigating the true nature. So relative truth is just our experience, means like we can hear the song, we can see this form. So you have all these 5 senses, object, whatever your experience, dualistically, is your all experience is like called relative truth. The reason is we not put the logic, we don't analyze. That's the reason I say without in investigating the truth nature, we don't investigate things. So what we see all is relative truth. We don't see the absolute truth. And this two truth is Buddha mentioned about very clearly, and the sutra teaching he mentioned about those things example is like sutra samadhi sutra. I think samadhi sutra. So what he says in there is all beings, what they're seeing is delusion, not reality. What all these beings hearing sound is no reality, it is a delusion. So our five actually sometimes we call 6 senses object is not reality. Reality is beyond that. So Buddha said that's the reason I have to share the teachings. If your 6 senses object is you 6 sensation objects you seeing the reality, then Buddha said I don't have to share teaching because your seeing is correct already there. So now why you have to share teaching? Because we're seeing this object is not seeing the reality absolute, and we're seeing just kind of like only auto level, some delusion, something, not reality. And that's the reason Buddha said I have to share the Dharma teaching. Yeah, so what we're seeing is not seeing reality. It's delusion. So the delusion, we already have a, delusion, what is it, disease. We already have a disease, emotion disease. So that's sickness, we're not seeing reality. The example is someone has a sickness. I don't know what the sickness, the name is, like someone has a sickness, they see the white or is a yellow color. So the disease sees everything is a yellow color, even the white, or the white is become, they see the yellow color. The Buddha give the example is a corn show, like this kind of a corn. I can show you this one, white, right? Corn, he said, show the corn show is white, but who has a disease, they see yellow color.
It's liver.
So then,
It's liver disease that causes it to go yellow.
okay, liver disease. See, everything is yellow color, white is. So then the white, this corn show is yellow or white. Actually, white, right? But the person, why he don't see the white? Because he due to his disease. Same thing, we all has that kind of, like ignorance disease. And that's the reason we don't see the reality. So when one day we also recovered, then we can see the reality, our illness. When we recover our illness, we can see the reality, absolute truth. So that person who has, so what they said, what you said, disease name?
It's either jaundice or cataracts. Both of them will cause you to see yellow.
Okay, well, you can put both.
Either one.
Both, that disease, like recovered, then they don't see the yellow anymore, right? It's become everything is white color come back. So like that, if someone who has that kind of disease when they was born, they never see the white color. You're telling them white color, they never recognize. They never even recognize white color. They go back and the yellow, or they go back to the green or some other colors. They never think about white color because of the reasons that they never see before, right? So one day they recover the illness, so then they really can see the white. So like that, we have ignorance, disease. We don't see these things, reality, absolute truth. So one day we recovered our illness, disease. So then we can see absolute truth, reality. So that means like nature of phenomena. Okay, so that's the reason. No, is whatever you hear the songs, whatever you see the object, your thoughts, everything is relative truth, not absolute truth. Even we talk about absolute truth, but you really cannot get your mind. The reason is I just shared, someone never see white color, they never think about white color. Okay. So now we go more deeper here. All of our conceptual thoughts, the words we speak, and everything we see or material objects are said to be conditioned because they arise through cause and conditions. Or conditioned things belong to the category of relative truth. So everything right now, what we're seeing, all this form is everything is how they said the condition things. So that is a relative truth. absolute truth. This all contradiction things not exist. That's the absolute truth. So you take away relative truth, then you cannot find absolute truth. So if we look to the one object, example, in this glass, who has realized emptiness, they're seeing this glass is absolute truth. Who don't have realized absolute truth, realization, emptiness, they see this is the relative truth. Sometimes we think when you are become realization, this everything is can like how to say dissolved or like no more to see. So that is also like incorrect thinking. Everything is there, but totally you're seeing different. It's change. Okay, so this the reason is like know what we seeing this form is relative truth, but realizes seeing this form is emptiness is absolute truth. So now you take about this what we seeing these forms, then take out that you cannot find absolute truth. Absolute truth is actually whatever we seeing this form is absolute truth. But we don't perceive that. We perceive relative truth because our capacity. So that's the reason this true truth is nature is not separate. Nature is the same. Appearance aspect is different. Sometimes we think, like when we get realization, then everything is like something different. But not like that. What we're seeing thing is like become the like relative, absolutely nature. You know what is the nature reality? Okay, so then we have to think like that way. So that's the reason they have lots follow the discussion, debating to truth. That all these philosophers is debating is like goes to truth. Buddhist, non-Buddhist, all debate is followed by the true truth. Nobody debated with compassion. Nobody debated with love. Right? So nobody debated with Boddchitta. So some maybe not accept Boddchitta, but then nothing to debate with that. But this true truth means like different perceptions. That's why disagree each other. Shariputra and another Bodhisattva Thamba Rinpoche disagree each other. They have to see the Buddha. Shariputra has the same as our perception. Thamba Rinpoche is he already have realization, so he's seeing everything is different. So the both receive teaching from Buddha same time together, and then I don't know when they get together. Why they get together to debating. So maybe finish teaching after some ways they get together. So Thamba Rinpoche told Shariputra everything is pure. Everything is pure land, pure. Shariputra said no, everything is impure. So then they debate, and because the perception is totally different. Another one seeing is everything is pure. Another one seeing everything is impure. Then they cannot disagree. They cannot agree each other because both are disagree each other. They went to see Buddha. So then Buddha, there's the history that there's a Buddha, his hand and touch into the finger is touch into the earth. Then his power show for his power show the Shariputra. Buddha told Shariputra, look, No. So then Shariputra see everything is pure. Same is the other Bodhisattva seeing. Exactly same. Shariputra also see the Buddha show him, you know. So then Buddha told him, this is pure line, right? No, where we are, it's pure. But this beings is delusion. Due to that, cannot see this is a pure line. Yeah. So that means like everything is depending individual level and capacity, and this whatever we seeing object is not there always like that. So that's also a good thing is like we have to understand, like, see, where is the pure line? Where is the hair rims? Where is the hungry gods? Always come up to into the individually perception. Mahayana, Hinayana teaching is different. Why the difference is Hinayana more focused with the auto level object. Mahayana focus more inner mind. So Hinayana, what is the Hinayana like? It's more like first step, first step. It's a kind of kindergarten. The reason is like, Buddha share also teaching exactly like that way, or he giving teachings. Don't do no virtuous. You're going to fall into the hair rims. There's have somewhere area has hair rims. There's so much suffering, beings burning, heat. Or some rims is a hungry ghost. There's so much beings hungry, thirsty. So they all he pointing is like auto level, Then going up to higher level, he said pointing into the individual perception, mind. So the hair realms, hungry gods realms, all these sex realms, then also this Buddha fairs, it's all it's individual perception is there. It's there. So long as we purify our karma, this all perception is changed. This is the pure line become. This is the Buddha fair. Buddha is your mind. Wherever you stay, that is a Buddha fair. Your body is your mandala. Your house is your palace. Buddha's palace. So this whole area, like universe, is Buddha's pure line, That is the Vajrayana perception. And then, of course, the first like Hinayana, we are regular beings. So Buddha here is somewhere else. And here realm beings is somewhere else. It is another different realms. 6 realms is different realms. So that true teachings is followed by individual depending level, So sometimes like parents make scared for kids because 1 or 2 kids like protecting for kids, right? So like that is Hinayana teaching. So kid is going to get something danger or something. So parents telling them, oh, you somewhere has. If the kids doesn't want to go outside, the parents are telling, oh, don't go outside. They have something dangerous, maybe lions, tigers, or some super people or person take away you somewhere, like make kids scared. They don't go outside. They stay home, right? So like that, the Hinayana teachings are kind of more like that way. And good behavior and follow good conduct, create virtuous deeds. That is always like Hinayana teaching. Like Hinayana means like not pointing to people, like pointing to our level. Then Mahayana is like more skillful, like more courage, better, And then Vajrayana is used like method, transforming. So there's different levels. Actually, the go more you more study Dharma is then they make more sense Vajrayana teachings. If you really can understand like how the difference, like how powerful in there is like different method. Of course, first like level without the Theravada Hinayana, you cannot get into the Mahayana teaching. Without the Mahayana, you cannot get into that Vajrayana like level teaching practice. So that's the reason always we starting from we are Hinayana. Right now, actually we are Hinayana. Even we practice Vajrayana teachings, but actually we are really Hinayana. Whatever we say, because you think about it, like I and the self, like we look for our benefit, and I wanted to become Buddha because I don't want the suffering. Like you comes easily that thought. So that means we are Hinayana. So we use this techniques is Vajrayana and Mahayana. But actually we are Hinayana. So the reason is we don't see this as a pure line, right? That's the reason we are Hinayana. One day you see this is a Buddha field, then you are Vajrayana. One day you see this is emptiness, then you are Mahayana. Right now we don't see that. That's the reason we are Hinayana. So we thinking about like, oh, I don't want to go to heaven. That means we are Hinayana. Mahayana means you not scared. Heaven means like you emptiness. Wherever I go, I'm okay. Go there. So that time is we are Mahayana. Heaven is you seeing the Buddha field. It's that time is you are Vajrayana. So that's the way we have to recognize ourselves. Sometimes we share this Hinayana teachings like, people misunderstand. And Hinayana means they're thinking about the Sri Lanka Buddhists and the Theravada traditions, Burma, Thailand, something like that. Then some people say, oh, you cannot say that because you like criticize them, like kind of like that thing like that. That is like they're misunderstanding. They lose the main point. So then they talk about Vajrayana. The thing is Tibetan Buddhism. Mahayana means Chinese, Japanese, Buddhist, like that. People usually think that is totally misunderstand. Actually, Mahayana, Vajrayana, Hinayana is you have to look to yourself where we are. Right now, actually, we are in the Hinayana level. Long as you don't see this is a pure lane, we are Hinayana. Long as you don't see this is the emptiness, we are Hinayana. Long as we are scared to go falling into the harems, we are Hinayana. Okay, so that's the reason. True truth means like absolute truth is like seeing emptiness, seeing purely, pure. So relative truth is seeing impure. Also seeing these forms. We don't seeing this as emptiness. That is relative truth. So then, long as we have this 6 different levels emotions. We are in the relative truth. Because 6 emotion perception is the 6 realms. Still, we have existed these 6 realms. Long as exist 6 different emotions with us, we have 6 realms. So that means we are Hinayana. Then this our emotion is we recognize is emptiness. Then you seeing your emotions not exist. Then that time you are Mahayana. Your emotion you take into the 5 wisdoms. 5 emotions you transform to the 5 Buddhas, 5 wisdoms. That time you are Vajrayana. So then that time is the absolute truth. That is called absolute truth. The true truth is like you have to follow like that way. Then we really follow the main kind of like essence of the true truth, not follow the words. So then teaching and the practice is a little bit different. You know, teaching talk about the talk about absolute truth. Talk about absolute truth is only use the words, use the examples, and use the something like sign language to share the absolute truth. You cannot do more than that because the reason is absolute truth is beyond the words, beyond the thoughts, beyond the perceptions. And we have to show the moon that use the finger. So actually, finger is not moon. Okay. When you show the moon, it's not watch the finger. You have to look into the moon, not the watch the finger. Otherwise, not possible to see the moon. So now what our problem is when we talk about this true truth, especially we talk about absolute truth, then everyone watch the finger, same as watch the finger, not watch the moon. So what then everyone thinking about absolute truth and they bring their own thoughts and that start with the words, start with their own thoughts. So that's the reason say absolute truth is very hard to understand. That's the reason this philosophically is like showing the absolute truth is like different levels. It's first we talk about impermanent. Oh, this is things not exist. How not exist? How to not exist? Is everything is changing. It's contradictions. Everything is like compound of phenomena. It's impermanent. Then go more deeper, okay, investigating. Even subtlest particle also not exist. Use logically. Subtle particle also not exist. So use logic like that way, investigating. Look to the table. Okay, where is the table? Take out all part of particles. Table is not exist. Then more go to subtle level. It's all the part of particle also not exist. So use like that kind words, logic, and take into the emptiness. Then sometimes we talk about use logic is called interdependent logic. Everything's interdependent. So some people very easy to understand interdependent. Oh yeah, nothing is exists really inherently there. Recognize the right way. Some people also talk about interdependence. It's very hard to understand. Then we say, okay, this everything is not inherently exist. Nothing is permanently inherently exist. Then still they don't understand. Then nothing is independent there. Still they not really understand. But some people then, okay, sometimes we say nothing is permanently inherently exist. Some people get yeah, but then there's an emptiness. Then they don't understand. But emptiness is actually nothing is permanently exist. That is the emptiness. Nothing is independent. That is emptiness. So like that way, you have to know emptiness, recognize. Then you slowly know, oh, this everything is kind of delusions, no inherently exist. So yeah, Buddha said form is empty, emptiness of form is they make sense, kind of make sense. So you study this true truth, they become more going into the intellectually go into the absolute truth, but not realization. Through the realization, absolute truth. Through the realization, absolute truth, then we have to change our perception, thought. We have to change our quality, inner quality. Until that, still we are relative truth. And until that, we are Hinayana. Whatever we talk, whatever we do, still we are Hinayana. But we are still Hinayana, we can accept this, Vajrayana and Mahayana teachings. We have a capacity there. Some didn't have a capacity due to the karma. Some don't have connections. Due to the karma. They don't accept this Mahayana teaching, Vajrayana teachings. They're not possible to intellectually understand. If they don't have intellectually understand, they never ever get the, the realization. Practice, realize. Not possible to practice, realize. First, we have to understand through the intellectual. Then you practice and you get, practice realization, realize. Practice, get your own experience, realize. Okay, so now they have some sort of true inherent existence, but that is a mistaken perception based on not understanding the essential true nature of things. When we do investigate, we find that all the conditioned things of relative truth lack any rare essence. See, everything is like essence, relative truth. They have many logics. So talk about emptiness. One logic is called Tibetan is called Jik-tadar. Jik-tadar means one is no exist. Then no possible exist many. One is no exist. So example, this table is one is no exist because many part or particles. The table is not exist one, so then cannot be many there. If you don't have $1 bill, you cannot have $100 bill. Make sense? If you don't have one, you cannot have two. If you're going to get two, you must have to have one first. Then you're going to get two. Then you're going to get three, right? If you don't have one, how are you going to get two and three? So no exist one because it's a far aggregate. Far. So if cannot exist one, how can you have five there? It's logic, It's called use logic. Jik-tadar is like Jik-tadar means like no exist one, then no possible many. So no possible is one. Example house. Where is the house one? Is you cannot find one. It's the many four pillars. Where's one? That means no one. Okay, one is no exist, then how can you have four? They have something special logic that you have to more investigate. So very hard to know that. That is the logic is you know, it's one the philosopher is Shinta Rakita Kenshin Shiwanso. So the due to his due to his you know, wisdom and compassion, Dharma is still actually right now exists. Without Shinta Rakita Kenshin Shiwanso, Dharma is right now is no exist actually. So when Kenshin Shiwanso is come to Tibet, he bring Dharma in Tibet. So usually the people think Pema Sambhava is bring Dharma in Tibet. Actually, Pema Sambhava is help for him to, you know, Pema Sambhava create Dharma, kind of like create like foundations. So all these teachings, as Shinta Rakita, this Kenshin Shiwanso, spread out in Tibet. So we usually some, you know, more philosophers recognize that. Usually more lay people don't think that much. They think always Pema Sambhava is bring Dharma in Tibet. But these more philosophers, more go deeper Dharma, their thing is like this Shinta Rakita. So due to his kindness, due to his wisdoms, Dharma is still alive. I think it's like it's alive or existing in Tibet, then it's existing in the world. So the, you know, the more philosophers, it's the professionals, the what the things. During the Buddha time, Dharma is actually already in the Sri Lanka. Dharma is already in the Burma. Dharma is already in this many country, the area country and India. But there other these countries, their Dharma never the translation to their own language. Especially the Buddha's Vinayana, one Vinayana, always monks have to gathering together, and then the abbots have to chant that sadhana. The sadhana is like twice one month. So all the monks have to gathering together in the temple. The abbots have to chant twice 1 month. Actually, they require every morning to do. Even the gathering time is like one each month twice. 15th full moon and end of the last month. Last day, they chant this sutra. This is a Vinayana teaching. So that is actually when Buddha passed away, Buddha said, this is the Buddha Dharma. When I go pass away, so this is your Buddha, this is your Dharma. Future, you have to follow this. Without this one, then Buddha Dharma is gone. So that prayer or chanting that talk about all this, you know, like monks, what they have to do when the renunciation, get the monk vows, and how to follow this the conduct, and how to meditate, and all this daily life practice, long one, very important one. So this country is like chant always their own language. If they're able to have to know the Sanskrit, he chant the Sanskrit, but other they don't understand. For this country, this these people. Shinta Rakshita, this he come to in Tibet. He told the king on this thing. We have to translate these teachings to Tibetan language. Otherwise, these teachings cannot survive. So he giving training for Tibetans teach Sanskrit, and he created translator language. And then also he is a philosopher. He's the Nagarjuna and this disciple Nagarjuna, then Shantideva, this Chandrakirti, all follow this Asanga. This all the teachings. He hold these teachings, everything. So he have this all the logic. Like right now we debating and the logic teachings. So then this all he bring to in Tibet, translation, all this Buddha's teaching. And he giving these teachings like philosophy, logic, and investigate through the science way, So no, you go back to look to other countries, they become Buddhist long time ago, but they still don't have this using logic, investigating, and all this. We talk about the Nalanda University, 17 scholars teaching. Based on that teaching, Buddha's teaching, all bring into the logically, go follow the teachings. The science, philosophy. Other countries really don't have like that. They only chant the Buddha sutras and the Vinayana teachings, but they don't have this like Nalanda Paintata, we call Paintata, great philosophers' teachings. So this Shinta Rakita, or what they has in India during that time, he bring everything in Tibet. He set up these traditions, everything. Because he has the ability to do that. He is philosopher, he has this everything knowledge is, so he did that. So that's the reason now it's all these teachings in the Tibetan language. Make sense or no? Okay, so now then true truth, we're talking about true truth is like just we're not seeing our eyes cannot see the absolute truth. Anyway, so you use logic, investigate through that, you recognize this everything is what we see is relative truth. You understand absolute truth is in there. One day we recognize this right now what we're seeing is absolute truth, but right now we're seeing is relative truth. So absolute truth is talk about emptiness. Emptiness is not nothingness. The seeing form is emptiness. Emptiness is a seeing. Okay, what we're seeing is form. We don't seeing the emptiness. One day we get realization. Seeing form is empty, emptiness is form. Form is no other than emptiness. Emptiness is no other than form. So that is absolute truth. So then that time you can easily accept no eye, no nose, no tongues, no. All no is become auspicious. Right now we have no is negative. So long as you have no is negative, then we are in the relative truth. One day you receive no is auspicious, so that time is you recognize absolute truth. We finish true truth teaching. Thank you, everyone. So now you can ask questions.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, karma has to be purified in the process. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's the only way you can progress is to purify karma, right?
Yeah, purify karma has a different kind of method.
Oh,
If your car is dirty, very strong, dirty, very like something very taint there, you know. So you can have to remove that. You can use very soft cloth, you can use hands, you can use water, or you can use something soap, special soap, or you can push powerful wash.
I need a
different
wire
method.
brush.
Ah,
I need a wire brush.
yeah. So like that, you know, then we have a karma. When we purify karma, we can use a different method, depending on our ability.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So purify karma, the teaching is the same. Is like when your car is like something strong, dirty, and stuck there. So then somebody say, oh, you can use hand, or you can use soft cloth. If you are very strong attached to your car, you don't want to scratch anything, you use your hand. And then you can use soft cloth, very hard. You have to put so much effort. Then, or you can put more something, little bit rough cloth. Then, or you can put your, this, what is it called? This one? No, use the water in the,
Spit.
Ah.
Saliva.
Live.
so use this and make wet and then remove the,
Not
remove the
right now,
dirty.
put the virus on your car.
Yeah, and then you know that's all kind of like also like some method, you know, depend the individual level, and then you can use water, and then or some people say, oh, what water also like have like oh cold water hard to remove, little bit warm is a little bit easy, hot is more easy, you know. Then you can put, somebody say you can put the soap there. Okay, then you use the soap and something towel and wash more easy than before first ones. Then you use a powerful wash, more powerful, more easy. Like so, like that kind. We have a dharma practice. Okay, so no, someone has questions. Who says something? Anyone has a question or no? I heard someone has a question. Sandra Kipper,
Yes,
your question.
I don't have a question.
Okay.
Well, do you know what an etch-a-sketch is?
What is?
I want to send you a toy. It's called an etch-a-sketch. And I think it would be a good metaphor for emptiness and method. I'll send it to you. Then maybe we can talk about it.
Okay. Send it to me. So send it through the wire, the internet, or send it through the wire. Which way send?
I think the mail. It has to come to Gardroma or something.
Okay, so I have to send it to you the where I live address.
Okay, I'll ask Debbie.
Okay.
Kimpula, I have a question.
Yes.
They talk about emptiness, and they talk about emptiness of self and emptiness of phenomena. Can you talk a little bit about that? And I think there's one easier to understand than the other. Is that, and then you can start by one of them, or what is it about? The difference between emptiness of self and emptiness of phenomena.
Oh, emptiness of self is like your this crown to feet between you recognize emptiness is called emptiness of self. Emptiness phenomena is all this everything auto level. not talking about your body. Actually, your body also part of a phenomena, but
Yeah.
the reason is the emptiness step is the first step.
First step. Okay.
Yeah, the reason is like why we make separate, because it's we have a liberation and Buddhahood. So you recognize the selflessness of a person, you can reach the liberation, free from samsara. You have more realizer bigger than that all phenomena is emptiness, then you can get Buddhahood. So that's the reason makes separate, different. Actually, this body also phenomena too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kempo,
Yes.
you are a very wise and very skillful teacher.
Oh,
Just
thank
the
you.
way-
I didn't
just-
think that. So
Oh, yes, you are. You've opened up my eyes to so much. There's so much. Oh, just this one brief teaching. You're very skillful, very skillful. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Hi, Kimpo. This is Amanda.
Hi.
Hi. So when you were talking about absolute truth, it made me think of the altruistic motivation prayer. And when at the very end, when we say, "Swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood," that is absolute truth, right? Ultimate truth.
So what does say the prayer?
I'll say it in Tibetan, but please forgive my pronunciation. It's very bad. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Dugnal Dangdrel Nyordu Lana Mepa Yang.
Yanda par zopa sanje konvan boji to boji.
Yes, yes.
So this is actually relative truth, right? It's because aspiration.
Oh, how do you?
We're doing is aspiration. Absolute truth is it's beyond in that. No need to wanting to get there.
So there's no need to establish an absolute truth.
Yeah, there's nothing to absolute like establish there. No action, no subject, no object, no action.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for clearing up
You're
this
welcome.
backwards. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Alice Wang.
Hi, Kempo.
Yes, you have a question, right?
Yes. I'm pretty interested in, or how can we learn more about the logic side?
Logic side, you can read this way of Bodhisattva, the chapter 9.
Mm.
So that put lots of logics in there. Then if you finish that, then you have to go to Chandrakirti and then Nagarjuna. So lots of logics, lots. So the main point is very easy to share the emptiness. We can approve emptiness through the logically. We cannot approve these things like permanently, inherently exist, independent exist. Logically approving everything is interdependent. So interdependent is one logic. Everything is interdependent, also logic. And I just share another is like no exist one, there cannot be many, so that's also logic. Yeah, the Buddha teaching is why is the why means like what I share the like reality, and the Buddha's teaching is like never going to distinguish. I think going to end, right? What is the distinguish or extinguish? it's going to like dissolve this. Which way?
Extinguish. X.
Extinguish. Yeah. Why is
Yeah.
the never going to extinguish? The reason is like talk about reality, and that's the reason never going to expire. Okay. So this Buddha teaching is like he talks like 2,500 years ago. Still, it's exactly works under samsara's end because it's talk about reality. It's never going to expire. Never going to extinguish. The reason is he shared this is reality interdependent. So that's the reason science also keep proving that, science, technology increasing, the recognize Buddha teachings more and more deeper. That means that the main point, essence of Buddha teaching is interdependent. That's his view. Then conduct is compassion, love. So that's also always sentient beings need. So never is negative. Love, compassion is never negative, always reality. The reality is positive. That is the conduct part. The view is interdependent. So the other ritual things, whatever going on. So, like what Buddha says, some it's, like all has a different kind because due to the individual level, it's giving for individually different teachings, like different capacities. So they all has like different kind, The main teaching is love, compassion, is conduct, never distinguished. The absolute truth view is interdependent, never distinguished. That is wisdom. So then conduct, wisdom. So that is the essence of the Buddha's teaching. Everything is like followed by individual level, giving different ways, teachings. So different ways benefit each other, Okay, so like example, some need money, Buddha giving money, some need food, they give food, some need clothes, giving clothes, like that, That means like not always giving money, not always giving clothes, not always giving food, right? That's what they need, like that kind. The teaching is like that, sharing. But these two things never change, always same. These two things is me essence. The other is just like go together.
Thank you.
Yes, anyone has a question?
Okay, I have one. So, what do Buddhist teachings say about time? When I think about time, I feel like we only perceive the past. People say, yeah, time. People say things like, we only have the present moment, be in the present moment. But the present moment's so fast,
yes.
It seems like we're never in it. We're always a step behind.
That means that you get in the logic a little bit because the time is not exist. So past or future, they don't have really present. That's Nagarjuna's logic. Nagarjuna use logic during no exist. It's already or future or past, not present there. So then present is very correlated, very subtle level is no exist. Or past or future. Then you use that, you never can eat, you never can walking, because already walk is past, it's going walk is in the future, don't have that present. So then everything that you see is like kind of same as a delusion, watching the television. No exist today. So that is one part of logic. Absolute truly, time is no exist. Relatively, yes.
So, Kambula, do you mean only the present is not existing, or all the times, like including the past, present, and future, or not exist?
So relatively, we have a past, we have future, we have present. But absolutely, actually, time is no exist, not no present. Then how you can have a past and a future? Present is dependent, like the future, past is dependent present. Actually, present is no exist. Then you cannot have future, you cannot have past. So time is no exist, absolutely. Relative truth, yes, we have a past, we have future, we have present. Yes.
So relatively, if we have past, present, and the future, why it says that please only stay at the moment?
The relative truth is it's our delusion. So our perceptions, thoughts, we have relative truly these three terms exist. Reality not exist. So the term is also actually individual different level perceptions, because right now our 1 hour is maybe the bug, the running the bug in the sometimes ground, their perception is our 1 hour is their 1 month. Their perceptions. That means time is not exist. I read one story, it's very beautiful. That really makes sense for me. I read the stories in Japan. The one boy and the girl went to the park and they just stayed there under the tree. The guy is like kind of like snapped like couple minutes. So then when he wake up, so the girls told him is you just sleep couple minutes, kind of like looks like you just go into the sleep couple minutes. So then what he fears that during that time, he was born in the one village. He has parents, okay? He has parents. That parents are also has like, he has grandparents too. And he grew up in the village. There's so many child, like kind of like, how to say, the neighbors, kids. They grow up every day fighting, eating together. Like same is our what we did. He grew up in the village. So then one day, his family, like grandparents, someone passed away. They went to the cemetery. They did things, suffering, and upset, and then they come back home, and of course then he grew up more 8 years, 9 years, and one day they get the big storm in the house. All is flowing, float, falls, everything. They have to run, and then they escaped that place to another place, escaped. So they stay there. He get married. He has children. He grow up. Become he's very old. So he fear he going to die. So and then he wake up. He's under the tree. it's only just couple minutes. That means time is not existent. This all is our perceptions, individual. Make sense or no? So I think that's the reason, you know, in the Buddha's teaching, the headlamp is like eons stuck there, so long time stuck there. I thought it's because too much suffering there. That's the reason. Even 1 minute is there. There is a feels like it's like, you know, 100 years. Even 1 minute, the headlamp being suffering. So that's why I think is the stuck long term, you know, many years means like kind of the followed by their feeling, you know, not our thoughts and the feeling. So that's our thought, but I don't know exactly. Okay.
Why do they talk in the teachings, Kempo, that a lot of time, or not in the teachings, but in the sadhanas, you know, looking into the 3 times or the 3 times, you'll hear that written a lot.
That is
past, present,
all relative truth, relative truth. So we practice Yadam Deity, visualize, and the chanting. This all is relative truth. So long as we are relative truth, we have 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also like example, we take refuge to the Buddha itself. It's relative truth, and then we just considering Buddha has 3 eyes. Like example, Achi has 3 eyes, seeing 3 times means like that. So when one day we get a realization, Achi is not separable. Our mind, they don't talk about 3 times. The Buddha also who's seeing 3 times also there is no existed there. There no who supplication to Buddha like help me 3 times. That person also not there. Then that supplication prayer also not there. So that means like no subject, no object, no actions. Or it's become inseparable. So that is absolute truth. Okay, so now who has the questions? Gear has a question.
I think I'd have to read again the Kalachakra tantras. They get very complicated about time.
They talk about the time, you know, Kalachara talk about the time. Abhidhamma, the Buddha's teaching talk about the times. So Kalachara, Abhidhamma, both what they're talking is a relative truth.
Yeah.
So the both time is not same. Because of this, why Buddha shared these 2 differences, different capacity individual.
Mm-hmm.
Right now you read the Abhidhamma and the Charasam, the Kalachara is contradiction term, what the Buddha shares.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it the contradiction? They're not really contradiction, but this Buddha sharing the person is different levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to know like that way, you know, then you understand the relative truth as many different kind of teaching.
I like when they say the highest level of the Kalachakra palace, where Kalachakra resides, is called the Mind Palace, M-I-N-D. So that's where the Kalachakra is resides.
So that term says that like your mind is Buddha, right?
Yes.
Your body is like Buddha's, like how to say, the form, or your mind body is the mandala.
Mm-hmm.
So then that is the palace is Buddha means like, or is your Buddha is there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's Vajrayana, you know, teaching.
Yeah.
Become everything is pure perception.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice visualization.
Yes.
What is homework for next week? What chapter to read?
Chapter have to read the True Truth.
Good. I haven't read that yet.
Yeah, True Truth is the homework.
Mhm.
If you wanted to read more, then read Four Schools.
Okay.
Four Schools, True Truth, more detail than this one. Okay, so I think no one has questions. Everyone take off. Good evening. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow also we have 2 sections, morning section and 6 o'clock meditating.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you
Kempo.
so much, Kempo. Thank you.
Blessing.
Bye.
Thank you,
Blessing.
Kempo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Kempo. Thank you.
Bye.